As a friend who loves other people, when does someone else's actions get to the point where you say, hey, you can't be doing this? You call them out to a higher standard, and when do you just let them live, saying, you know what, they're not affecting me, they're not affecting anyone else, or inhibiting someone else's freedom, so I'm just gonna let them live their truth. In other words, do I tolerate my friend, or am I intolerant of their behavior? Well, it would depend on your view of tolerance. Nowadays, tolerance is thought of like this: all truths, all behaviors, all values, all practices are equally valid, and thus we respect and affirm everyone's choices and beliefs. Who are we to say that they are wrong? So all truths are equal. No one is greater than another. Every truth is relative. But there's a huge problem here. If that's actually true, how do we do justice? How do we call people out for things that are actually wrong if it's just our opinion against their relative opinion? I remember hearing a story of a moral relativist professor who went to Africa to advocate for women's rights. She showed up in this village, was talking to the tribal leaders and sharing that you can't treat the women in your tribe like you are treating them. And the leaders of this tribe, they looked at her and they said, well, who are you to say we can't? Our culture says that it is right, therefore we're gonna keep doing it. And right there, she was presented with a dilemma. Does she commit to her belief in saying that, well, they're just doing what they think is right, therefore who am I to judge them? Or does she actually call them out that abusing other people, human beings, is wrong? I think we all know that right and wrong is outside of our opinion and preference. There is a standard. It can't just be feelings against feelings and opinion against opinion, or we can never call people out to live better. I think there's a better take than this modern view of tolerance, and that's the classical view, that I look at another human being and I respect them and I value them because they have worth for who they are, even though I may disagree with their beliefs or their behavior. That's the biblical view, to treat people as if they have value and worth, not because of what they do, but simply who they are. There is a real moral order. There is a right way and a wrong way to live. And if we're a real friend, we're gonna call someone out if they are living wrongly, because it leads to death and destruction and despair. If your friend is doing something that you know is wrong, you can lovingly call them to a higher standard. You may be called intolerant, but I would actually say it's loving to call someone else to a higher standard, a right way to live, to share God's goodness, to share His design, and to share that living within God's design leads to flourishing.